when the day bends softly into surrender, and the crimson breath of the sun dissolves on the horizon's trembling lip. The world exhales in golden stillness. The rivers glow like molten prayer. Fields become mirrors of celestial fire, and every leaf holds a final drop of light, a farewell tear from the dying sun. The mountains wear the crown of dusk. Their ridges burn with liquid flame, yet underneath the shadows gather, whispering hymns to the coming night. Birds fold their wings in silent reverence. They know that day must bow to peace. Even the wind grows slower, as if afraid to break the fragile glass of this holy hour between worlds. There is a truth that sunset teaches, that nothing truly ends. The sun only slips behind another veil to burn unseen elsewhere, in a cycle older than our dreams. The heart that weeps for the dying light must also learn to love the dark, for the dark is not absence, it is womb. Now comes the silver hush, the in-between hour, where color dies, but light remains, thin as breath. Upon the mirror of creation, the first star pricks the purple veil, timid yet eternal, and the heavens, one by one, awaken like eyes of angels opening in prayer. The earth grows fragrant, the scent of dust, of jasmine, of unseen flowers blooming for no witness but the moon herself. Every living thing seems to pause on the edge of transformation. The day's noise has gone to sleep, and silence walks barefoot through the corridors of the forest. In that silence, something stirs, not sound, not wind, but awareness. It is the breath of the infinite, brushing the skin of the mortal world, reminding it, you are not alone. And then, the moon, slowly, regally, shyly, lifts her face from the horizon's veil. She rises like a dream, long buried, like a forgotten goddess, stepping again into her own reflection. The ocean trembles in recognition. Its waves become ribbons of silver prayer, curling toward her like devotees. Each ripple whispers, we remember, and the moon, in her quiet grace, smiles without speaking. Her light is not the sun's command. It is gentler, wiser, patient. It does not burn, it heals. It touches without conquering, reveals without blinding, and blesses without words. In her glow, the trees become scriptures, their branches tracing verses in a language of rustle and shine. The mountains are her altars, the rivers her rosaries, and every cloud a drifting page of heaven's unfinished poem. When moonlight enters the forest, it does not disturb, it baptizes. The owl calls once, then listens, its hoot a mantra to the void. Crickets weave their endless rhythm, the pulse of the living silence. A deer pauses, breath frosting the air. A brook murmurs its confession to the stones. All of creation becomes a temple, and I, a pilgrim without feet, walk through its corridors of light and shadow. No priest here, no creed, only communion. I lay down beside the water, the earth cool beneath my palm, and gaze upward into infinity. The stars are not far, are within, each one a spark of the eternal soul that hums quietly behind my ribs. The moon seems to listen too, her light reaching through the branches, touching my forehead like a benediction. In that touch, all boundaries fade. I am not body, not thought, but ripple, reflection, resonance. One note in the cosmic chord. By the shore, the waves dance to rhythms older than speech. The moon pulls them gently as a mother draws her child close in sleep. Foam glimmers like spilled pearls, each bubble holding a world of light. And the sea sings, not loudly, but endlessly. How long has this song been sung? Before man had words, before time wore a name. The ocean sun spoke to the moon, and the moon listened. Now I stand between them, a small witness to their endless love. The tide retreats, leaving behind mirrors of wet sand where the stars have come to rest. I see my reflection mingled with constellations and wonder if, perhaps, we are not merely looking at the stars, but are ourselves the stars. Looking back, night is not silent. It speaks in layers, in whispers of grass, in hums of sleeping bees, in sighs of old trees, dreaming of dawn. Even the stones hum softly, their hearts warm from the sun they held all day. The moon listens to them all, and her light translates their prayers. She carries them upward, past the black sea of air, past the quiet corridors of sky, to where God listens with closed eyes. What if every night were a conversation? The moon asks, the ocean replies, the stars question, the mountains echo, and man, lost in his small, loud world, forgets that the universe is still speaking. Yet tonight, I remember, I breathe and I hear, not with my ears, but with that inner chamber of silence, where all things meet. A river flows beneath the moon, its course both surrender and strength. No wave resists, no current disobeys, yet nothing is more powerful. The moonlight glides upon it like a saint's hand on a devotee's head. I sit beside it, eyes half closed, watching the water mirror the heavens. Each ripple distorts, then restores the face of the moon. So it is with the soul, disturbed by thought, restored by peace. The secret of water is acceptance. It receives everything, leaf, stone, shadow, star, and keeps nothing. It moves forward, always singing, never remembering, never resisting. Would that my heart could learn to flow like this, to accept, reflect, and release. Perhaps that is enlightenment, not rising above the world, but flowing through it without losing purity. In every ancient story, the moon is a mirror of longing, of wisdom, of return. She is the lamp of wanderers, the compass of poets, the silent teacher of monks. When I gaze upon her face, I see my own soul looking back, half light, half shadow, ever changing, yet always whole. We too wax and wane, not in loss, but in rhythm. Every sorrow is a dark phase, every joy a full moon. The divine moves through us like phases of silver breath. We shrink, we shine, we hide, we reveal. But the essence, the core, remains radiant. We are not the light, nor the darkness, but the space in which they dance. I walk through the fields where moonlight lies thick as mist. The grass glows, the dew turns to jewels, and the air smells of eternity. Each step feels ancient. The soles of my feet remember journeys older than birth. Perhaps I walked here before, as stardust, as breeze, as thought. For the soul has no beginning, and night is its native country. Above me, the moon keeps watch, a lantern hung in infinity. She follows, patient and loving, as if guiding a lost child home. The path needs no direction, for the destination is within. At last I stop, in a clearing where the moonlight falls. Like liquid prayer, I raise my hands, not to ask, but to thank for this silence, this beauty, this small moment in eternity. The breeze carries the scent of night-blooming flowers, and time seems to stop breathing. Even my thoughts dissolve, only presence remains. In that stillness, I feel it, the pulse that beats through all things, through stars, through stones, through my own heart. It says nothing, yet it means everything. It is love, beyond shape or sound. And I know the sunset's fire, the moon's light, the night's silence are not three things, but one eternal rhythm, one divine breath, one endless circle of return. Slowly, imperceptibly, The darkness softens, the moon bows her head, fading into the veil of clouds. A faint pink whispers across the horizon. Morning is coming, yet I do not feel loss, for I have seen the truth, hidden within the hours. The sun is born from the same silence that held the moon. There is no death of light, only its movement from one form to another. Sunset gives birth to night, night gives birth to dawn, and the circle continues in the sky, in the heart, in the soul. Now the world stirs again. Birds reclaim the branches, rivers awaken with laughter, and men begin their daily chase. But I carry within me the memory of the moonlit stillness, for once you have touched the silence between sunset and dawn, you are never truly in darkness again. That light, invisible yet eternal, follows you always, in joy and grief, in the smallest act of seeing. The sun burns for the eyes, the moon shines for the soul, and between them flows the great river of being, carrying us all from birth to death to rebirth through the endless sky of God. So let the day come, let it blaze and fade again, for I have learned from the sunset to let go, from the moon to shine in silence, and from the night to be still enough to feel eternity breathe. There is no death of light, only its movement from one form to another. Sunset gives birth to night, night gives birth to dawn, and the circle continues in the sky, in the heart, in the soul. Now the world stirs again. Birds reclaim the branches, rivers awaken with laughter, and men begin their daily chase. But I carry within me the memory of the moonlit stillness, for once you have touched the silence between sunset and dawn, you are never truly in darkness again. That light, invisible yet eternal, follows you always, in joy and grief, in the smallest act of seeing. The sun burns for the eyes, the moon shines for the soul, and between them flows the great river of being, carrying us all from birth to death to rebirth through the endless sky of God. So let the day come, let it blaze and fade again, for I have learned from the sunset to let go, from the moon to shine in silence, and from the night to be still enough to feel eternity breathe.